covers and having a read of the back of the book to hear what the stories are going to be about. But yeah, obviously I can't give my opinions on them yet. When I have eventually read them, maybe I'll do another video, potentially. So before I get into the main part, as per usual, I just wanted to say a big thank you to anybody who watches my videos, to anyone who has subscribed to the channel. Thank you so much. And thanks everyone for liking and commenting. It really does mean a lot. Okay, without further ado, let's get into the book haul. I am someone that really enjoys the sounds of books, whether it's tapping or page turning, so we'll do a little bit of that in the video as well. Let us start with the first one. So this one is called The Hit List. It's by the author Holly Seddon. As it says on the front, you live an ordinary life, so why does someone want you dead? Have a read at the back. What would you do if you found your name on a hit list? On the anniversary of her husband's accidental death, Marianne seeks comfort in everything Greg left behind. She wears his shirt and cologne, reads their love letters and emails. Soon she's following his footsteps across the web, but her desperation to cling to any trace of him leads her to the dark web and a hit list where her name is on it. To try to save herself from Sam, the assassin hired to kill her, Marianne must first unpick the wicked web in which Greg became tangled. Was Greg trying to protect her, or did he want her dead? Doesn't exactly sound that cheery, but it does sound exciting. And as Gillian McAllister has said, my book of the year, it's got some quotes on it. Leslie Cara said sinister, clever. It does sound quite exciting. And I do really like the cover. I like the colour and the layout. Let's just have a look at the first page. So part 1, now. Marianne, Saturday 11th of September 2021. I'll just read the first paragraph. A shadow falls across Marianne's shoulder. Her toes curl on the cool decking and a shiver crawls down her back. Compared to her Hackney flat, Noah's Richmond townhouse is a mansion, but it's this tiny chilly garden that she loves the most. Walled on all sides and invisible to the neighbours, it's crammed within an ornate cherry blossom tree planted by his late wife that leaves just enough room for a wooden bench. says, and she doesn't approve of his new hobby, searching deep lakes, canals and lochs with state-of-the-art camera and technology. He'd seen it in a TV series and found the idea fascinating. It had taken him just a week to get his boat kitted out with the expensive setup. To his disappointment, his son hasn't shown much interest in the camera combing of the depths, as he calls it, but now he seems interested. Something about the way his dad is acting has caught his attention. So it does make you want to read on. Okay, we'll go on to the book sounds, and then we'll move on to the third of the collection. Next one is called Safe House by Joe Jakeman, and the quote: "So much atmosphere, gripping, tense and chillingly claustrophobic." Karen Hamilton, author of The Perfect Girlfriend. She lied to protect a killer, now there's nowhere left to hide. It does seem that all three of these books seem to be about murder and death, which I get is exciting, and loads of stories are about murder mysteries and that type of thing, but that I didn't actually realise the similarities when I got all these books, but I think the other two might be slightly different. But yeah, I suppose writing about happy lives with nothing going wrong, isn't that interesting? But let's have a read at the back of this book. The morning after a great storm, a woman arrives in a remote Cornish village. But Charlie, as she now calls herself, steers clear of the locals and keeps